In this video, I am so excited to share my strategy for lead generation that has been my top lead generator for the last 3 years. It's all about the quizzes, baby. My name is Kaye Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. I help entrepreneurs change the world with what they know by discovering their innate brand advantage to grow their business and impact more people. And today we're talking all about quizzes for lead generation, growing your email list, and converting more people to clients. For me and my business, and then for clients that I've implemented this for, it has been absolutely magical. My brand archetype quiz has now been taken over 85,000 times. Crazy pants, bananas, and by the time I publish this video, I'm hoping it's going to be over 100K because we're fast approaching that milestone and number. If you want to create your own lead generating quiz for your business, you first have to decide what your strategy is. Like, what type of quiz are you going to create? And there's 3 major types that work really well for converting people to clients at different stages. The first and most popular is an insight quiz. You're giving people a piece of information about themselves or about their life that they couldn't possibly know or not easily figure out themselves. So a lot of the personality quizzes fall in this range, right? Like, you're telling somebody a piece of themselves that they have a hard time seeing, because it's like trying to read the outside of a label when you're sitting inside of the bottle, right? You can also answer the unknown for people. So maybe you're telling them about their past life, or you're telling them about their future, what their future might hold for them, or maybe something about like a third-party perspective. So like, how does your best friend see you? Or what does your future partner love about you or going to love about you? The insight quiz works really, really well when you're first attracting cold leads to your business, because that curiosity element is irresistible. If you can tell me something about myself that I don't realize about myself, I'm gonna trust you a little bit. That's gonna be something really cool. It's gonna be a fun experience because there's that element of discovery, of the unknown, and we all like to know more about ourselves, right? Ourselves and our lives. So if you can shed some light, give some insight into a piece of your ideal client's life, they are going to be excited to engage with you. All right, type number 2 is the strategy quiz. So you're helping somebody make a next step. It's almost like a diagnostic tool. So it could be something like, which of your chakras needs balancing? For me, I could create a quiz around a common, actually for any of us, we could create a quiz around a commonly asked question that we get. For me, that would be something like, should I name my business after myself? Like, be a personal brand, or should I give it a corporate name? And it's not an easy answer. It has lots of different factors. So you could create a quiz to answer one of those complicated but commonly asked questions that you have expertise in. You could also do something like help somebody decide what the right product is that they should buy from you. Like, what's the next step? I do this with my warm audiences with my growth quadrant quiz. So after somebody's in my world for a little bit, they get to know me, they get indoctrinated into my brand, and then I present them the growth quadrant quiz, which helps them decide what their next step should be based on where they are in their business. So I'm able to recommend either a clarity call with my team, my free masterclass if they're at that stage in their business, or other offers that I have where they might not be able to, or they might not know how to self-select necessarily. So if you have a suite of products that are good for different stages in business, this could be an interesting way to segment your list into the correct offer. The least commonly used type of quiz is the scale quiz. This is more like you're back in school getting graded on something, right? So you have a 0 to 100 scale. So you could think about that either as like pass and fail. So like, how good of a marketer are you? Most people fail this test, click to take it. Or you could use it as like a dichotomy type of thing. So like, are you making decisions with your heart or with your head, and helping people figure out where they are in that scale? This is more logical. So both the strategy type quiz and then the scale type quiz, these are better for when people actually know who you are and they trust you enough to give them a concrete answer, because there's not as much of that element of surprise because they don't know what the choices are necessarily. When you're telling somebody something about themselves or something about, that's personal to them, they have an immediate way of verifying if you're true or not, if it's correct or not. But with both the strategy and the scale, there's more of a trust factor built in. Like, you're the trusted expert that's giving them the answer to something. So it tends to work better for warm audiences than cold audiences. Okay, once you decide what your strategy is, so like, are you going to create a quiz for your existing audience who know you, or are you creating one to build your list with cold people who are just being introduced to you? You then have to decide what your outcomes are. So you start at the end. What are the different possibilities that somebody could get when they take your quiz? For me, for the brand archetypes, it meant that I have 12, and I would not recommend this for anybody. 3 to 5 is probably more than enough, because it gives a nice bit of variety between, like, say if somebody takes the quiz again and again to see like if they get different results when they put in different answers. It's enough to be specific, but it's not enough to drive yourself crazy. Because remember, if you create 100 different options, outcomes for the quiz, if you want to follow up with people in a customized way, then you then have to create 12 different email sequences, or in my case, 12 different courses for each of the different archetypes. So based on what I know now, I wouldn't ever recommend having a quiz that has that many different outcomes, but I'll leave it up to you to decide what your perfect number is going to be. Once you have the outcomes, you want to write a positive description for each of them, and you want to give them a positive name as well. You don't want to tell people that they're bad at something. That doesn't feel good. They're not going to share that. So make all of the options, all of the outcomes, a positive experience for the person taking the quiz. Next, you're going to write the questions, and you can start to correlate different questions to different answers. And then finally, you have to figure out what your follow-up is going to be. The most effective way to do this is to create personalized follow-up based on the outcome that the person receives. So like a customized guide for the answer that they got on the quiz. This is the best way to convert people to a email lead after they take the quiz. And then you also want to deepen the brand relationship as quickly as possible. So to bring them through like an email sequence or a retargeting sequence where they're getting to know you and your brand on a deeper level. Because let's face it, when somebody just takes a quiz, they're not very invested in you. They're more invested in themselves, right? They want to know something about themselves. So it's important to immediately start that like relationship building process right after they take the quiz, and then potentially giving them an offer, maybe within a week or two, something small, something very low risk, so that they can continue to deepen the relationship that they started with the quiz. If you want more help with this, I have an entire program dedicated from creating a quiz from scratch, a quiz that converts, to something that is going to be a lasting asset in your business, to grow your business, to grow your client list, to grow your email list. They are so powerful because they are engaging, they are interactive, and it can help you put your knowledge, your hard-won expertise in a very fun format for your ideal clients to experience. Have fun making that quiz. I cannot wait. If you have one, drop the link below. I'd love to take it. And if you have any questions, also put that in the comments, and I will see you guys there.